So when I say 2000, how big of a deal is that in your life, Dave?
Well, you know, I worked. Am I looking straight ahead here?
Look right at me. Look right at me. You're all right.
Okay. I had a goal in my life, and that goal professionally was to win a national championship. And so when I look back on the 2000 year, I think of that as accomplishing a goal that I had set for myself, and that I got to achieve. And not a lot of people get to do that. So when I look back 25 years now, it's pretty cool for me to be able to say that I did that.
How did you know Tom Izzo?
You know, it's kind of funny. I actually came from Indiana. I had worked with Bob Knight had been there for 5 years, and my time, because I was a student, was basically up at Indiana. And so it was time to try to find a new job. And it was kind of an odd way how I got the job is I applied to schools all over the country. I applied to every professional team, but I didn't apply to a single Big Ten team because I didn't want to feel that Coach Knight felt like I would go out and do something against Indiana. And Tom Izzo and Tom Crean happened to be down at Houston visiting Jimmy Boylan, and they had just lost their video coordinator. And they had told Jimmy Boylan this, but I had sent a letter to Jimmy Boylan, and Jimmy said, "Hey, I just got this from Indiana. You should call this guy." And so they saw my resume, they came back, they gave me a call, and I told Coach Knight that Tom Crean had called me about going up to Michigan State, and Tom and Coach, they got along pretty well. And so when Coach called on my behalf, it kind of got things going for me.
So Knight not only endorsed it, he helped you.
He did help me, yeah, absolutely.
That was Tom's 5th year as head coach.
It was his 3rd year. It was actually his
Well,
third
when
year.
you were hired.
No, it was actually his 3rd
He
year.
won the championship. It was the 5th year, I believe.
Yes, but I got hired in 97, 98.
Which was his 3rd year.
Which was his 3rd year, yep.
So what is it about the Izzo mentality at the time that led this team to 3 Final Fours?
I think it's the connection that he has with his players. He has such a great connection with the players. He's able to demand so much of them because they know that he's in it for them. And when you have that relationship with the players, you can demand a lot of them. And they may not like it all the time, but they know that it's in their best interest. And, you know, they work with him. They all work together in that family. And I think that's one of the main benefits of being in that family is you know that what you do for the program, somebody else is doing something for the program. They're all in. Yeah. And it's something they're all on the same page, and they're all working together.
And you're still a coach today at the high school level. I imagine you've taken some of the Izzo traits and applied them to your life, haven't you?
Oh, absolutely. One of the things that I always say that Coach Izzo does is he's such a detailed person. He's very detailed-oriented. And so when I'm out on the court coaching, when I'm in the classroom teaching, I try to hit the details. Coach Izzo's phenomenal. But I try to take those lessons of trying to make sure that we don't leave any base uncovered. Let's make sure that we have answers for anything that's going to happen. Let's make sure we have an answer for it.
You went to the Final Four in St. Pete, 99, didn't win. I think Duke beat you. Did you figure then that motivated this team to get it done a year later?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that when we left in 99, there were some broken hearts. You know, there was a lot of effort that was put into getting to where we got, but the mission wasn't accomplished. And I truly felt that coming back the next year, the goal was to accomplish that mission. And I knew that we had a group of people that were going to do everything they could to make that mission happen, to get that goal accomplished.
And Mateen gets hurt in the preseason, and you lose to Wright State. Do you still believe it?
You know, there were some questions there because we didn't know how long Mateen was going to be out. And so, you know, we had to work our way through it. But that, you know, that was such a building process. And I'm going to jump ahead to, I think we lost Mateen for 14 or 15 games. And when Mateen went down against Florida, it was very concerning for all of us, of course.
Sure was.
But then once I got my thoughts in my head, or the emotions out of it, I realized we've been here before. David Thomas is going to do a phenomenal job. Charlie Bell is going to do a phenomenal job for us. We've been here. They've been here. We're going to be okay. And that was kind of a, when he did get hurt, there was not disappointment in the fact that, oh no, we're in a lot of trouble now. It was, what do we got to do? What do we have to do to win this game and to win this championship? And everybody came together, and it was really a neat moment.
When it's over, they're celebrating. Mateen jumps into Mo Pete's arms, and everyone mobs your boss, Tom Izzo. What's that moment like for you? You're in the fray there somewhere.
You know, for me, what was really neat, and I'm going to go back to the Iowa State game.
Okay.
When we beat Iowa State, I called my mom right after the game because I'm from Indianapolis. And so we were going back to Indianapolis, and I called her and I said, Mom, I'm coming home to win the national championship, because I really felt that we were going to win it. I didn't think there was going to be anything that would stop us from that. And so after the game, we won it. I had to look up to where my family was, because it was like, we did it. Yeah. And it was a neat experience. And when I say my family, I'm talking about my mom, my dad, my wife, my kids, my brothers and sisters. It was a special moment.
You alluded to this off the top. When you win a national championship, it kind of changes your life, doesn't it? Not really changes it, but it has a deep imprint.
You know, it really does. There aren't very many people that have been able to say that they've done that. And it's a unique feeling, knowing that there are a lot of very talented coaches, a lot of very talented players that never get the experience and never have that associated with them. You know, Coach Izzo has said many times after raising a championship banner, they can never take that away from you. And that's a pretty cool thing to be able to say.
Would you have ever believed in 2000 that here 25 years later he's still going strong?
Yeah, I can see that in him.
Really?
Yeah, he's a lifer. He is Michigan State. He's almost college basketball right now. You know, you don't find very many coaches that have been at one place as long as he is. Mm-hmm. And I think that Michigan State is as much a part of him as he is a part of Michigan State. And I'm excited for where they're at right now. I am anticipating the games this weekend. I'm looking forward to seeing them play and hoping for the best for them.
Do you happen to have, because do you happen to have any pictures of you coaching on that team or with Tom?
At home, I do.
Could you send me a couple on my phone?
Yeah.
When you get a chance?
Yeah.
It's not airing for a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah.
When
yeah.
you get them in, if you could send me whatever you got, I don't need 10, but if you have 3
Okay.
or 4, I could utilize that in this part of the store. We're doing an hour-long special on this.
Oh, cool.
So the April 4th,
About the team.
Yeah, go ahead.
We didn't talk about the players.
Let's pick it up there.
Okay,
Go ahead. What's on your mind?
So when I first arrived at Michigan State, Dan Dockage had given me a call, and he had asked me, he's like, tell me about the players at Michigan State. And I said, Danny, these kids love playing basketball. 2, they are the most competitive people I've ever met in my life. And 3, they get along with each other so well. You know, people that players that you wouldn't think would hang out with one another, and they were good friends. And again, the tightness of the group, the willingness to sacrifice for each other, was something that you don't find with a lot of teams. But again, when you think about it, there's only one national championship at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And it takes a special group of people to be able to reach those heights. And they have to be people that, A, in basketball, they're competitive. B, they enjoy it. They'll get out there and play as much as they can. And C, they just get along. those are the things that separate championship programs, and we had that. We had it for many years, and then the accumulation, the cumulative effect was that we won the national championship, and we did go to 3 Final Fours in a row.
Tom Izzo's often said, we're different here. You believe that. You lived it, didn't you?
Oh, absolutely. It's an environment that is second to none. Everyone works together. Everyone has the same goal, and everyone works for each other. And I think that's a big thing, is that they work for each other. And you don't find that in a lot of places.
I'm glad you added that.
Okay.
If you could send me a few pictures, that